harm, harassment, distress. We're not here to use any form of intimidation. We're here purely to exercise our right to public assembly on public land, to film the animals coming into this horrible place that people call a slaughterhouse. Look. How could you? How could you? Shameful what you do. Shameful. How could you? What a traitor. What a traitor. Animals are like children. What made you lose your heart? Where's your empathy? Where's your empathy? Got no empathy. Shameful, disgusting, weak person, aren't you? How dare you do that to animals? Yes, you are. Bullying the most defenseless individuals. We do. Watch Joey Carpstrong's investigation from yesterday. The animal abusers, people who farm animals, take animals inside here. Scumbags, how dare you do this to animals? How could you? Animals are like children, defenseless, around people with weapons. How could they? Please subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share, and comment. We don't speak to you guys the same as we speak to these truck drivers, these slaughterhouse workers, and animal farmers. These people see the animals, they see firsthand. When people even see the animals on the live stream, they go vegan on the spot. Look at all this on the floor here, where they wash down the truck because animals, when they're so afraid, they defecate everywhere, they go into fight and flight. Did you know cows can smell up to 5 miles away? That's where I'm at, a slaughterhouse that kills cows from the dairy industry and the beef industry. They can smell up to 5 miles away. They smell this place, they're afraid and they're scared. Horrific. They can hear the cries, they can smell the blood just like we can here. Guys, please subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe and put 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share, and please comment and ask questions. We are not here to hate on you guys, but we are here to tell you the truth and to educate you on something that you might not realize. A lot of people are drinking cow's milk, thinking that it's intended for them, but it's intended for baby cows. You're drinking cow's milk, the mother and the baby have been sent to the slaughterhouse to be killed when they no longer produce any profit. Just like in the egg industry, all the male chicks are blended up alive on day 1 or forced inside gas chambers or put inside black bags. Did you know the way that they forcibly impregnate sheep? I'll tell you in a sec. When we get to 50 likes, I'll tell you that in just a moment. Please subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, subscribe and put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe and put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share, comment, and please subscribe. That a truck was in there for ages, washing down the feces, potentially blood and all sorts of stuff in there as well.
Dantra thinks that you should be open to good, open-minded questions. Meanwhile, you avoid those and only keep tunnel vision on what you think is right. What about bees to have your plants? How many rodents do you kill? So bees, rodents, crop deaths.
Yeah, no,
we're not avoiding anything.
No, I'm not avoiding anything. We don't avoid anything because we've done our research. We know exactly everything. Because don't forget, I was once a non-vegan. I was someone who paid for these industries to exist because I didn't know the industries. Just like I can tell you don't know the industries. Please subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share, and comment. By the way, we need plants for survival. Okay, otherwise we have civilization collapse. We don't need animal agriculture or any form of animal exploitation. There's 90 billion land animals forced into existence every year, okay? For your mind, if you're very young and you can't understand it, that's like this much, okay? This many animals being fed plants. There's this many humans, 9 billion humans on the planet who could be fed plants, but currently have been taking away the plants to feed to the animals to get a small amount of calories back from the animals once they're killed and exploited. So yeah, if there's any crop deaths, then yes, it'll be minimized by being vegan. But crop deaths is an accidental death, right? It's accidental. It's just like if you walk along the road, you might kill an ant. You wouldn't say, oh, I'm now going to use that excuse to now go and stab dogs and chickens and pigs in the throat, okay? Because you've accidentally killed someone. Just like if you drive a car, you could kill a human. Doesn't mean I'm now going to use that as justification to open up my own slaughterhouse for humans, okay? Understand the mindset, understand what's happening. Watch Dominion on YouTube in the link in the description.
Mark Shores is the one who keeps putting like, your message is pushing people away.
Yeah, feeling guilty.
By the way, we've had hundreds of thousands to millions of people go vegan due to our activism.
Yeah.
You may not go vegan because of it, but it doesn't mean that we're doing it wrong. It just means that you may not link to the way that we're advocating.
Yeah, that's a lack of compassion on your behalf.
But this shows like your lack of education on the matter when you put a vegetarian is closer to your goal than someone who has never questioned your diet, right?
No, vegetarians kill animals. Veganism is someone who is against the use and exploitation of animal. That's like saying those who are only racist to a certain type of person, they're closer to the goal, but it's no different. In fact, the study shows that vegetarians actually consume more eggs than dairy, okay, once they go vegetarian as like a replacement, which again, like I said, the eggs and dairy industry is the most abusive industries on the planet. It's no different. It's real black and white, all right? There's people who kill animals and exploit them here. There's a line, then there's vegans who don't exploit anyone, don't exploit any animals, okay? We don't see them as a slave or a commodity for us. Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share and comment. Vegans are just those who care about animals because they wouldn't want to be exploited, used, commodified, okay? When you pick up animal products, you don't see an individual, you just see 2 pieces of bread with a bit of flesh in the middle, but you don't even view that as flesh. You don't realise that's basically like digging up a graveyard and putting someone's carcass inside 2 bits of bread. And then you go, have you never had a KFC before? Have you never had chicken before? Yeah, once upon a time, I paid for that as well. I used to do that as well. I used to drink cow's milk, eat cow's cheese. I used to have eggs because I was probably more leaning towards vegetarian when I was younger anyway. But I didn't realise the victim, like you don't. So it's really easy for you to say like emoji stuff and be like, oh yeah, steak or whatever, but it's harder for you to look at the victim, right? I'm at a slaughterhouse right now. Behind me, they're killing cows from the dairy industry and the beef industry.
Where can people see more?
Go to the link in the description. Go and watch Dominion on YouTube. It's the very first link. Then underneath that, go and watch the dairy investigation that has just dropped by an award-winning farmer, Gold Cup winner. Just dropped. It's horrific. It was so sad to see, but this is it, right? It shows up the industry. It shows how animal farmers lie to you. They smile to your face and say, no, we'll never abuse our animals. We love our animals. Even bringing kids there, disgusting, deceitful. And then actually behind the footage, you show that same person abusing, kicking the animals. It's horrific, absolutely horrific. The animals are being bullied by animal farmers, slaughterhouse workers. This needs to end, and it ends when you go vegan. Okay, because you're propping up their industry of your money, okay? If you don't pay their wage, they don't do it. The dairy industry is on its knees. Let's demolish them completely now by living vegan and never ever paying for this exploitation again. Behind me, they're killing those cows from the dairy industry. Those cows have been genetically modified to have huge udders. They can barely walk, they can barely stand up. That's why they kill them around 3 to 4 years old. Cows should naturally live around 27 years old. All the cows in the dairy industry have pregnancy forced upon them. They have their baby ripped away from them. They're extremely maternal. They cry for their babies. A cry of torment. Is that?
No, it's not. Steve, thank you so much for your kind super thanks. Steve's put so many low IQ trolls here. If you don't like it here, for God's sake, get a life and go somewhere else. Absolutely. Thanks so much, Steve.
People are having their own like meltdowns and stuff, but it's like, yeah, you're not being forced to be here. The animals are being forced inside a slaughterhouse to be stabbed in the throat because of your choices, and we're giving you the opportunity to just see the truth. That's why we're here live streaming, showing you the reality. We're going to show you the animals going inside this horrible place so that you can connect with your victim for the very first time.
What do you say when people say about small or organic or free range is like better, they're going to concentrate on that?
Yeah, no, sadly, if you think small free range organic is better, then you are a victim of propaganda and you've believed it. There's no difference between small, big, whatever. It's all exactly the same, like exactly the same, and they all get sentenced to a slaughterhouse and they get killed with the same knife. Okay, here we go to slaughterhouses all the time. You see big trucks come in, you see small holding trucks come in. Horrific. They hit the animals, they prod the animals. The animals often turn up with blood all over their backs where they don't want to get on the trucks, and they've obviously been hit by rakes and things and pushed on the truck. They're squished in so much. Cows wouldn't actually want to do that. In fact, last week here we saw a cow be forced off the truck, who got really scared, realised where they were and tried to run back on the truck. They were so afraid, and they got pushed back on to the lairage to await their death, to await their murder, to be killed, to be stabbed in the throat. All animals are stabbed in the throat, and all the animals you consume, commodify, are all babies. They don't want to die. They haven't done anything wrong. They literally have been born into a different body to yours, and that's their crime, is it? Humans are really going to say that they're better than them because they look different on the outside? Terrific. That mindset creates wars. Please subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share and comment. Just going to switch in with Steve.
Yeah, well said.
It's just so sad. It's just so sad when you're just trying to say, please stop hurting animals, and people try and defend it.
I know. When you see the innocence of them going in, and you realise that they should be morally considered the same as any other animal, the same as companion animals. Their desire to live is the same. They look out for slats on the way into a slaughterhouse with such hope in their eyes, their little noses sticking out, and you think it's just heartbreaking to know that people aren't only just putting them in there, not caring about them, not considering them, but they're putting them in there, mocking them at the same time. Their whole existence, their whole subjective experience has just been a big laugh and a big joke to somebody, but they have suffered from the minute that they've opened their eyes until the minute the industry closes them. And their whole existence has been for one purpose, and that's to make someone profit. Animal farmers, slaughterhouses, supermarkets. They've just been viewed as a commodity, a profit-making machine. No one's morally considered them as the individuals that they are. No one's cared about them. No one's cared about the fact that they had pregnancies taken, forced upon them, had their babies taken away from them, had family members killed and executed. They've died on their backs in barns. It's horrific.
The irony that this Mark Soars put your performing moral superiority for attention.
Yeah, and it's boring.
It's
boring. I don't read anything. You can even just like mute that person. They're the one who's saying that, you know, we're doing it wrong. This is all sorts of things dressed up.
Yeah.
Just boring. Them kind of people lack the ability to critically think.
Yeah.
They don't look outside the box. They're the kind of people that say, because you didn't tell me in the right way, I'm not going vegan. Like I said earlier, it doesn't matter. The vegan message is the vegan message. Being against exploiting animals is being against exploiting animals. Doesn't matter how we dress it up.
Love Treek is still here. They put, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but isn't glue made from horse hooves, and don't shoes that have glue holding them together? I may be wrong, I don't know. Thank you for bringing up that point.
You're absolutely right. Subscribe 1 for vegans, subscribe 2 for non-vegans who are kind people, subscribe 3 for anti-vegans. Double tap the live stream, please like, share and subscribe. An absolutely great point. This is why it's really important to look for the vegan V, or if products are labelled vegan, especially shoes. Go to Skechers, they are labelled vegan, which means that all the glues and the materials to make them shoes are going to be vegan. So yeah, veganism is not just a diet, it's an ethical position against the exploitation of animals, and we should be looking out for all these kind of things. Also looking out for products that are tested on animals, also considering animals in zoos and sea animals in sea prisons that are known as aquariums. Vegans will avoid all of these places because every single one of these industries is a supply and demand industry. This is why we have such power to stop the injustice, because the injustice lies in your pocket when you spend your money. Every time you put money across the counter of industries that exploit animals, you're perpetuating the violence, you're asking them to repeat the injustice over and over and over again. When you stop and go vegan and their profit margins dry up, they no longer have a desire or a demand to exploit animals, and this is how it will end. Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open-minded to these conversations. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream. Oh God, it smells like
Okay,
that.
now we're getting a lot of people asking about protein.
Protein comes from plants. Thank you very much for this comment and people being intrigued. Protein, all protein, 100% of protein comes from plants. It comes from the nitrates in the soil during photosynthesis. All protein comes from plants. The animals who are executed, commodified and killed for protein, all high quality soil. The guide that he's got there, the free download guide there. Any other questions?
Just people still not believing it, like Daniel L'Oreal put, protein comes from meat. Did you not pass school?
It's ironic how people think that the vegans are the stupid ones when we're the ones giving you all the facts. Go to nutritionfacts.org, go and see the truth for yourself. Go for the Academy of Dietetics and Nutrition. Go and see the science-based data for yourself, not just people's opinions on the fact that I don't know what I'm talking about. But your body needs nutrients and you can select the ingredients, and that's what we're saying. When you can select ingredients that didn't scream for their life inside of a slaughterhouse, why aren't you choosing that? If you can get 250 grams of protein a day from seitan, tofu, tempeh, and legumes and beans, why are you not choosing that? Why are you forcing animals inside slaughterhouses to be stabbed to death? It's crazy.
To be fair, the same person put, sorry, I sound mean.
No, listen, we're used to it, but please note that we're not here to clash. We are here to talk. The whole objective of today and every live stream is to talk and converse and show you what the industry don't want you to show you. The industry don't want you to know that all protein comes from plants, by the way. They don't want you to know that because the indoctrination doesn't tell you that. They make money off the back of exploiting animals. So if people wake up and think, wait a minute, I can get all my protein, I can get all my calcium, I can get all my nutrients, and I don't have to send animals to slaughterhouses for 99.9% of the population, that's an optimal moral choice. Therefore, everyone goes vegan, and then these businesses, slaughterhouses and animal farmers, go out of business.
What would you say to someone who says you're pushing your belief on us?
We're not pushing anything, we can't. We can only expose the truths that the industry don't want you to tell, don't want you to know, and we'll tell you it. The only pushing and forcing that's being done is to the animals. The animals are forced into existence, forced into slaughterhouses, and forced to give everything up by being killed for optional products. So if you're someone who's against forcing, then be vegan. Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan. Be open-minded to these conversations. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share, subscribe. Go to the link in the link tree in the description of this live stream. Watch Dominion, watch Joey and his team's latest expose, and watch Pignorant. Go to the bottom of it and get help going vegan. No one can force you to be a good person. We can give you the facts and the truth, and then it's down to you what you do with it.
There's not many sensible questions, but there's this one that said, Asa Love Bikes put 9 million people die of starvation every year, 4.5 million are under 5 years old. Want humans to listen to you? Then don't let them die.
Yeah, well, 90 billion land animals die being executed and murdered in slaughterhouses, and 2 to 7 trillion sea animals die every single year too. So the injustice that the animals face is worse than any injustice that humans have ever faced. This is why it's the #1 injustice that we need to focus all of our attention on ending first. But the good news is you can stop sending animals to slaughterhouses and be vegan, and then still fight for human rights injustices too. You don't have to pick and choose. You stop one, and while you fight for another.
And a benefit of going vegan is that you literally will feed the world.
Exactly.
Over and
We
over.
feed 90 billion land animals crops. We've got 9 billion humans. We stop forcing all them animals into existence. We can feed all the humans. Everybody wins.
Like that person, why do you think people finger point at vegans rather than like it's their own fault that people aren't even being fed, yet they finger point at the people who are trying to change the world?
Yeah, because for them to agree with us, they'd have to change the way that they're spending their money, or they'd have to change their lifestyle. People are really good at pointing out what other people are doing wrong before they look inwards and say, you know what, I'm going to take personal accountability for this, and I'm going to look at my actions to see what my action's doing. So this is why people go, oh, and point fingers, rather than going, you know what, they've got a point, and if I do consider the fact that I don't want humans starving, and there are 90 billion land animals, why do I care about humans not being killed? Why do I care about animals not being killed? Let me just critically think about it and tie it all together. If you want to be logically consistent, and if you want to be consistent with your ethics and morals, then you should be vegan. Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you've already done that. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, be open-minded to these conversations. So get these to advocate for them. We're here to come to good people with good hearts who have open minds, the ability to stop and think, the ability to take personal accountability, and to see the truth. Go and see it in the Linktree links on this live stream.
We've got Stucky Chillington, but I don't want to be rude, but you said good people are vegan. That is not how it works.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm not saying good people, maybe saying good people are vegan is maybe a bit of a long stretch, because I'm not saying that all vegans are good people. But what I'm meaning by it is when good people see what happens to animals, they go vegan.
Yes.
That's probably more of an accurate way of putting it. If you're someone with a kind heart and compassion, and you're not a bad person, when someone says to you, did you know that piglets are put in gas chambers at 6 months old? Did you know that male chicks in the egg industry are blended up alive because they don't produce eggs? Did you know that mother cows have their babies taken away from them, have pregnancies forced on them? Did you know that males in the dairy industry are executed at a couple of weeks old? When you're a good person and you hear these facts for the first time, you go, oh, I didn't know that stuff. How do I not be part of it? And then you go vegan. So thank you for pulling up on that comment that I said, and hopefully I've corrected it a little bit more as well there.
Where can people see what happens to animals so they understand why what you're saying is...
Go into the link in the description, click on the Linktree link here. Who's that guy?
What are they doing?
What's going on there?
It's not...
Show him inside of a slaughterhouse.
Yeah, we'll show you the slaughterhouse now, guys. We're going to open the gate.
Well, you got three puppets here today.
3 puppets?
Puppet 1, Puppet 2, and Puppet 3. All 3 puppets on the gate. Does it take 3 of you to push that gate now? If you were vegan, one of you could do it with 1 arm. You realise that? If you're a vegan, you'd actually have some muscles. You'd be able to push and pull that gate with one arm. Takes 3 puppets to push it and pull it now. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Look at the state of these 3 puppets. Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat. If you're not vegan, be open-minded to these conversations. Subscribe and put 3
Are you
if
an
you're
animal farmer?
anti-vegan.
Are you an animal farmer? Giving the slaughterhouse some paperwork?
What happened? I wonder if something happened. I wonder what happened.
Oh, the animal farmer putting in their animals for next time,
There's
maybe.
always, do you know what? Lacking transparency is one thing, but there's always suspicious activity at slaughterhouses. Slaughterhouses are always up to something. They always just seem to be like having an underlying current of suspicious activity whenever we're here. It's always a little bit weird, isn't it? Not
Wait,
just
if you're killing
but
somebody?
slaughterhouses across the board. Listen, if you want to see the truth, if you want to see the reality, and you don't believe what we're saying, go into the link in the description. Go and click on the Linktree link. Go to the top one. Go and watch Dominion. Dominion is at the top. Underneath, there's Joey Armstrong's latest exposure that came out on Sunday, where they exposed a Gold Cup award-winning dairy farm. Go and watch that, and then go and watch Pignorant. Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open-minded to these conversations. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan. If being kind to animals triggers you, put a 3 in the chat. I want you to know that anti-vegans, you're the minority. Although the majority of people might not be vegan, it's only because they haven't seen or heard what we have. When good people see and hear what we have, they go vegan. It's as simple as that. They just don't know. And that's because these industries are deceptive by great-granddad, great-great-great-granddad, dad. It gets put down through the family. My parents, my grandparents, my great-great-grandparents, they were wrong too. The reality is, they were just victims of the same indoctrination and conditioning that you are. But you have the ability now to break that chain. You have the ability to go vegan and pass that knowledge on to everyone who comes after you. Subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open-minded to these conversations. Subscribe and put 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream. Please like, share, subscribe. Please share on all your socials. Let's get the likes up as much as we can before animals come here today. We're here today to show you the truth and the reality. Our disclaimers at the beginning is we're not here to cause alarm, harassment, distress, or intimidation. We're not here to clash and to point fingers at non-vegans. We're here to educate and show you the truth. And then you can do with it what you please. But good people, when they see it, they do go vegan because they've seen what happens to animals. Let me swap in with Mel.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, guys, 26 years of my life, I used to pay for these industries. I didn't know what I was paying for. I didn't realise that cows produce milk for their babies. I didn't realise that the things that I was paying for by not being vegan was horrific.
Truck. Move that over. Get it over.
Okay, guys, down there. Oh.
Big blue truck. Big blue truck.
Victims. Here are the victims. Here are the victims. Oh my gosh. So hot. It's so hot.
Oh my gosh. Go. In the middle.
Hi, babies.
Hey, babies.
I'm
so
sorry, babies. We love you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, babies. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We love you. Are you victims if you are not vegan? Are you victims if you are not vegan?
Don't touch my equipment.
Don't walk into me.
Don't touch my. You're walking into me.
Back to the public
Don't touch
pathway.
Don't touch me.
Back to the public pathway.
Oh, how do you live with
Puppet
yourself?
2. Back behind your fence, Puppet 2.
Let me hold this. Let me hold this.
Thank you.
Disgusting. Where's your morals?
Where's your morals and ethics? Shame on you. How do you sleep at night? How do you sleep at night?
That didn't work. That didn't work. That didn't work.
Let me see.
Guys, this is a slaughterhouse right now. What you're looking at here, you've just seen a truck going with animals on. You've just seen a truck in here going with animals on in this horrific place. These are your victims if you are not vegan. These are your victims if you are not vegan. Let me just get in front of here quick. We are not here to hate on you guys. We are not here to cause alarm, harassment, distress, whatever else. We're here as your friend to tell you that horrific things are happening to animals behind these gates behind me. Look, this truck here behind me. This truck here, let me get up here and show you while Steve's just sorting that quick. Guys, please subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. I just saw this sweet cow's nose coming out of this truck. How hot is it right now? How hot is it? 28 degrees, stuck in a truck, crammed in this truck. These cows from the dairy industry being killed here today. Absolutely evil. Where are these people's morals? How could you? How could you? I know you listen to the screams just like we listen to those screams of those poor cows. I'll see if I can zoom in, see if you can see any of their noses looking out, their little faces. Please subscribe, put one in the chat if you're vegan. What you're looking at right now is a slaughterhouse where they kill cows from the dairy industry and the beef industry. Evil, evil industries of violence. Please subscribe, put one in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan.
Let's take that. Right, okay. Guys, what you just witnessed, in my opinion, is nothing less than a slave truck going inside of this concentration camp. That's the way I view it, that's the way I see it. These animals have the same desire to live as anyone else. They have the same capacity to feel fear. They have the same capacity to want to live. And we take everything from them for an optional product. This is our message today. We don't need to do this. There's no justification to do it. There is no reason to do it. You have a choice not to do it. So what is stopping you from being vegan? What is stopping you from sending them innocent animals to slaughterhouses? What is stopping you from causing so much violence? I'm not sure if that was a thumbs up or an anti-vegan.
What just happened there?
A truck just came past us there. The industry, as always, has tried to rely on its secret tactics. They've got 3 people opening and closing the gate to get their animals in as fast as possible. They rush the trucks in because they don't want you to see the animals. Because if you see the animals and you're a good person with a good heart, you go vegan. They've now pushed the truck around the side. It's now hidden by the first truck, so that when they put the animals into the layerage, the animals are going to disappear into the darkness. Today they'll be killed before the time you go to bed. These animals will most likely be forced onto the kill floor, where they'll be put inside a knot box. They have a bolt gun on their head. They'll be picked up by one leg and they'll have their throat slashed open. That's the reality that these animals will face. They will be killed. Imagine yourself. Imagine today, if today someone said to you, come with me, get in my car, come with me. You got in the car and you're a little bit suspicious of where you're going. You weren't really comfortable. And when you turned up, they dropped you off. And then you got forced into a room where someone was wearing a big apron, some wellies, and they were sharpening a knife in the corner of the room. And as you were forced towards them, you knew that something was wrong. You could smell the blood, you could smell the fear, you could see the other animal body parts everywhere, and you were being executed by that person today. They were going to stab you to death. After a life of exploitation, commodification, and misery, after all that horrific, horrific torture that you've had to live through, that's the fact that you're going to meet.
These are the victims that we filmed that have been going inside this horrible place. Let me just put the brightness up.
Absolutely horrific. This is such an injustice. It's so sad. Mel's going to show you on the camera here.
People need to see the eyes of their victims.
You got it? Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open-minded to these conversations. Subscribe and put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. We're just getting the camera ready so we can show you. Okay, you got it?
Yeah, where it's in slow-mo, it's just taking a little bit.
That's fine.
This is another day we were here. Able to put that up. You can hear them crying. Oh my gosh.
They're crying.
Hold on, hold that. I need to get that on audio.
They're crying because they don't want to come off. They're crying because they don't want to come off. Oh my God. Them bellows are horrible. Jesus.
Listen to their cries. Blood is on your hands. Disgusting, weak individuals. How could they? How could anybody do this?